Mr. Taggart? Can you speak so I can make sure I can hear you?
Hi.
Okay, that's all I need, just a test.
Okay,
Uh,
good.
you're Mr. Taggart. I'm sorry, I just called you that. Are you Mr. Taggart or Mr. Diaz?
Howard. Taggart Howard.
And your client is,
Duncan Young.
so the judge is going to be early, but he's not here yet. So you might be
That's
waiting just a little bit.
no problem.
Please rise. Today is the 16th day of April in the year 2025. The Frisco Municipal Court is now in session with the Honorable Judge Ron Carlson presiding.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this, our April session of the Municipal Court for the town of Frisco. For many of you, it's the first time in court, or at least the first time in this court. Court procedures require that in each case, I first review your original ticket. I know many of you have talked to the prosecutor and you'd like to get out as fast as possible, but legally, I must first advise you of the nature of the charge against you. To that end, I just simply read the name of the charge. Municipal court matters are not very complicated. Speeding is a commonly understood term. If you really want the statutory definition, I can read that, but it's not required. It's not intended to get into the facts behind your case, but just to make sure you understand the general nature of the reason you were summoned to court. Secondly, I'm required to tell you of the maximum possible penalty that you could receive. Third thing is I'm supposed to ask you a number of questions that establish you've read and understood your legal rights, and then we can get to how to handle your case. All of these things take time and they're a bit repetitive, but they are designed to make sure you're well informed of why you're here, what's going on, and to protect your legal rights. So please be patient as we process through those things. That being said, the first case I have is Duncan Young, which Mr. Taggart Howard is appearing virtually as attorney for Mr. Young. Taggart, long time no see.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
Good. You have authority to enter a plea on his behalf.
I do.
You waive advisement.
I waive advisement.
Okay. I have that his original charge was two charges: speeding 10 to 19 over 4 points and failure to drive in a single lane 3 points. And he's going to plead to obstructed vision 3 points.
Yes, Your Honor. That's correct.
All right. Your client's fully been informed of his rights and knows what a trial is and is waiving his rights to a trial. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Those things being said, court will enter judgment according to the stipulation. Fine on this matter. I can look. What's your client's record as far as driving record?
I don't think that he has anything recent. I think we got sent. I'd have to look back in my notes here, but
I'm just saying I've got it's a New Jersey, and there's nothing. There's a speeding back in 2010.
nothing recent. Yes, Your Honor. That's correct.
There's several requests, and there's some improper plate thing, but that's about it. All right. Let's see. Normal fine on this would be $100 plus $30 cost, $25 surcharge for a total of $155. Will your client be paying online or sending us a check, or how's that going to get accomplished?
I was going to ask the court how that I should have that accomplished. Can he pay online, or should I have him call the court with a credit card? Or
He can do either of those things. My court clerk Janice is nodding yes. You can have him call 970-668-3579 and talk to her or her assistant Tracy, or
You just need to amend the fine. If he pays online, it's a different cost. You might want to wait until tomorrow afternoon until we can amend that.
tomorrow afternoon. So if he wants to do it online.
that's fine. I can have him call Janice. It's 5 o'clock. Should I have him wait until tomorrow to call?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're night court. I am not Harry Anderson, but we do our best.
Okay.
All right. Anything further?
Nothing further. Thanks, Judge. I really appreciate it. Thanks
All
for
right.
accommodating the WebEx or Zoom.
Appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you too.
Next case I have is Thomas Hochter. Mr. Hochter, can you hear me?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Attorney Javier Diaz appearing on Mr. Hochter's behalf. He is on, but he has authorized me to appear and to do a change of plea on his behalf.
Okay, I was looking, I didn't see an appearance right offhand, so my apologies there. So, you waive advisement,
Yes, Your Honor.
and your client knows his rights to a trial, knows what a trial is, and is waiving those rights to enter an amended plea of defective vehicle 2 points, correct?
Correct, Your Honor. I have advised him of his rights to trial and waiving those rights.
All right. Anything you wish to say or he wishes to say?
No, Your Honor, just that we appreciate the court accommodating virtual appearance, and I believe he has the clean history out of Massachusetts, but otherwise nothing else.
Very good. Court will impose a $100 fine, $30 court cost, $25 surcharge, total $155. He can either call the court clerk tomorrow at 970-668-3579 and pay it over the phone or with a card, or it will take them till tomorrow afternoon to modify the website to allow online payment.
I understand, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, very good. We'll let you go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anthony Stockwell. Good afternoon, sir. Sir, you were summoned to court originally for an allegation that you violated Model Traffic Code Section 202, paragraph 1, being drove a defective or unsafe vehicle. Do you understand the charge?
Yes.
Maximum penalty is a fine as high as $1,000 and 2 points on your driving record. Do you understand the maximum penalty? You were provided a written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review your legal rights? Do you have any questions about them? Do you feel you understand them? Do you know what a trial is? And you understand you have a right to hire an attorney. I have paperwork that says instead that you're going to plead guilty to a 1-point defective headlamp. Is that correct?
Yes. Talk to you about the fine situation. The prosecutor said we might be able to figure.
You can. We get to that after we take the plea. You understand that by pleading guilty to the 1-point defective headlamp, that you are giving up all the rights listed in the right sheet, which means there'll be no trial, there'll be no witnesses. The prosecutor won't have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. Did anybody threaten you to get you to plead guilty? Anybody promise you anything not said in court? Is this your free and voluntary plea? Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? Now, I've asked the required questions. How do you plead to 1-point defective headlamp, guilty or not? Court accepts your plea, find me freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. This is where you get to make a statement or make requests. What would you like to tell me?
I've already spent like 650 something bucks replacing the taillights, and so I was hoping maybe there could be some leniency on the fine.
Okay. Anything else? $10 fine, $30 court cost, $25 surcharge, $65. It's as low as it can possibly be.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Please, can you pay that?
Yeah.
Please see my court clerk. Emma Price? Ms. Price, good evening. Ms. Price, you were summoned in court originally for an alleged violation of Model Traffic Code Section 802, failure to yield right of way to a pedestrian in a crosswalk. Do you understand the nature of the charge? Maximum penalty is $1,000 fine and 4 points on your driving record. Do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review your legal rights? Do you have any questions about those rights? Do you feel you understand them? Do you know what a trial is? You understand you have a right to hire an attorney? I have paperwork that says that you would agree to plead guilty to a 2-point defective vehicle. Is that correct? You understand by pleading guilty to that charge, you are giving up all the rights listed in the right sheet, which means there'll be no trial, no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You are giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney.
Yes.
Did anybody threaten you, force you, coerce you, or otherwise make you plead guilty against your will? Anybody promise you anything not said in court? Is this your free and voluntary plea? Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? Now we've covered the required questions. How do you plead to defective vehicle?
Guilty.
Court accepts your plea, find be freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to make a statement and welcome to, but not required to. Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
I have a clean license. It was my first infraction, so would appreciate any accommodation on the charge.
Okay. $75 fine, $30 court costs, $25 surcharge, total $130. Can you pay that?
Yes.
Please see my court clerk. Tyler Soggs. Mr. Soggs, good evening. Sir, you're here for a couple of reasons. One is there was a failure to appear from November of 2024. And it appears you bonded out on a personal recognizance bond on March 18th of this year. You understand that reason for being here? Yeah. The original charge that you were summoned to court for back in 24 was an alleged violation of Frisco Municipal Code, Section 79-2, owner failure to control pets, first offense. Do you understand that charge? The maximum penalty on municipal ordinance offenses is a fine as high as $2,650 and or 364 days in jail or a combination of both. Do you understand the maximum penalty?
It wasn't explained that by the prosecutor, but yeah, sure.
Okay. You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. You get a chance to read and review your legal rights.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Do you have any questions about your rights? You feel you understand them?
Yeah.
Do you know what a trial is?
Yeah.
And you understand you have a right to an attorney?
Yeah, so what am I being charged for exactly? Because I was told that it was simply for having a dog off a leash for a simple fine, and I'm here for a potential chance of 365 days in jail. I'm quite curious. Can you run that back by me? I'm kind of slow.
I'm required to tell you what the maximum possible is. And under state law and under local ordinance, the maximum possible is up to $2,650 and up to the 364 days in jail. The court for convenience has a fine schedule that indicates in general on a first offense, you could have handled this by paying $50 plus the costs back in 24.
Right. Well, sir, I must say, since I don't have an attorney, I was also not able to get work, and nobody seemed to have any care whatsoever in the world to help me get my ID, even though I have fingerprints in previous system, you know what I mean? Because I've been to jail prior, but nobody wanted to help me get my ID for
for the love of God, you seem quite frankly. And it was almost, I'm still struggling to get a job. I just recently got my ID, but it's definitely more of a process than you'd think, sir. It's quite frustrating, but yeah, I wasn't able to get legal funds, sir, so I couldn't make money. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and the other problem is that you didn't come to court to discuss it with anyone.
I also I wasn't able to get down here from Denver, sir.
There's no record of a phone call to the court clerk that you couldn't make it.
Didn't have an act for
Well,
hard times.
so what I have from the prosecutor is what he's offering is what's called a deferred judgment and sentence, that technically the way that works is you're expected to state a plea of guilty to the charge, but it goes into a temporary court record. If you satisfy and complete the conditions, which the only conditions I see is to not have any other offenses, that at the end, in this case, it's filled in for a 9-month period. If there's no other violations, then the case is dismissed and automatically sealed from public view under Colorado statutes. On the other hand, if at any time it's alleged you violated the conditions, which would be some other, the only thing in this case would be some other criminal charges, there'd be a hearing about whether you actually violated the conditions. If it was proved you violated the conditions, then the guilty plea goes to the permanent court record and you're subject to being resentenced. Are you clear on that procedure? You understand by pleading guilty pursuant to that procedure, you are giving up the rights and right to, which means there would be no trial, no witnesses. The prosecutor would not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. Anybody threaten you to get you to plead guilty? Anybody promise you anything not said in court? Is this your free and voluntary plea?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? And now, if you want to accept this deferred judgment, how do you plead to the charge, guilty or not?
Definitely didn't have my dog on a leash. She was swimming in the pond.
Court will accept your plea, find you freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to make a further statement before officially imposing sentence, but you're not required to. Is there anything more you'd like to tell me? Quick question. You're saying getting up from Denver, then there's a sticky in here about your address being in Port Huron. Are you here or not here?
I have a Colorado ID.
Okay. Where's Waterwoods? North of the Blue Water Bridge?
Well, it's what was it? Port Huron is the town. It does have the Blue Water Bridge connecting to Connect.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
familiar with it. I grew up in Michigan. So I was just trying to place your street.
Oh, that's
I believe, yeah.
Okay. Are you working?
Working on it, sir.
Okay. I could just assess community service instead of a fine if you prefer.
much better.
For community service, sir. As long as I could serve it in Denver.
Yeah, you can serve it anywhere.
All
We're
right.
not fussy about that. 8 hours of community service. And then I'll waive the court costs, but the $25 surcharge is imposed by council. I don't have authority to waive that. So 8 hours plus $25. How much time do you think you need to complete all that?
I'm talking with $25 pretty quick, sir.
All right.
I'll try my
And the 8 hours, you can do that in a month or two? All right. We're not doing May court, correct, June? So by June, what's our court date?
June.
June 18th, is that right?
Yes.
June 18th. You know, proof of the community service is due to the court by June 18th. Or come back here to explain why you didn't get it done or why you need an extension. But if you turn in the paperwork, you're all done.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
Please see my court clerk.
The proof of your community service has to be sent directly from the nonprofit that you do the community service for. It can't come from you.
Really close.
Okay, I'm gonna sorry about I'm gonna mispronounce your name, but it appears, is it, Tristani? Okay. Ma'am, this matter was set for trial previously. And then rescheduled, your request apparently. And then it's been reset again till next month. So I thought we were not having court next month.
Yeah.
So,
But not guilty plea.
yeah, it doesn't appear that I can tell that you have actually appeared on, except we set for trial. You must have been appeared. Do you wish me to re-advise you about the charges?
I appeared on the first court date and then the second one got canceled last month. And I'm pleading not guilty.
Okay. As of today, we'll enter a not guilty plea and court is next held June 18th.
Me,
No, we are having a May session. All right. Excuse me. So trial is now set for May 21st at 5:30. Any questions? All right. If you need subpoenas for witnesses, contact my court clerk. Please see my court clerk before you leave so that she can give you a written notice of the trial time and date. Okay, Joseph, is it pronounced Polito? Okay. Sir, you've been summoned to court on two different matters. I have one that you're summoned for an alleged offense occurring May 6th of this year, 2025. And it's alleged that you violated Frisco Ordinance 130-11, prohibition of camping. Do you understand the nature of the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
The second charge is data violation is alleged to be February 12th of 2025. And that is also a charge of camping contrary to section 130-110. You understand that charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. In both cases, these are municipal ordinance offenses. The maximum possible for any municipal ordinance offense is as high as $2,650 fine and a possible 364 days in jail. Do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review your legal rights?
I did, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about your legal rights?
I don't.
Do you feel you understand them?
I do.
Do you know what a trial is?
Yes.
And I understand that you've requested trial. So we've set trial for next month, May 21st at 6 p.m. No, actually, one of them set for 5:45 and one's at 6. So
Yeah, list of public defenders or someone that'll accompany me on the trial?
there aren't public defenders in municipal court. That's financed by the state court system and it's part of the state court.
I'll just send everything I got to the clerk,
Yeah,
evidence wise.
yes.
All right.
Any other questions?
Your Honor, I did have fun at the library working. It was nice.
Please see my court clerk for a written notice. John Quisenberry.
Sorry, Judge. I told him he could leave. That's just a dismissal.
Oh, because he did have insurance? Okay,
Yep.
that's fine. Alicia Chapman. Ms. Chapman, good evening. Ma'am, you're summoned to court to answer allegations you supposedly violated Model Traffic Code Section 604. Failure to obey a traffic control signal or device, commonly referred to running a red light or disregarding some other sign. Do you understand the nature of the charge?
Yep.
The maximum penalty is 4 points on your driving record and a fine as high as $1,000. Do you understand the maximum penalty? You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review those rights? Do you have any questions? Do you feel you understand them? Do you know what a trial is? You understand you have a right to hire an attorney? I have paperwork that says instead of that, you wish to enter into agreement to plead guilty to a 3-point special hazard speeding charge. Is that what you wish to do?
Like less, but yes.
That part I don't control.
Yeah.
You understand if you plead guilty to the 3-point special hazard speeding, that you are giving up all the rights listed in the right sheet, which means there will be no trial, be no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You are giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. Did anybody threaten you, force you, coerce you, or otherwise make you plead guilty against your will? Anybody promise you anything not said in court? Is this a free and voluntary plea? Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? Now we've covered the required question. How do you plead to a 3-point special hazards speeding? Or accepts your plea find to be freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to make a statement and welcome to, but not required to. Is there anything you'd like to tell me? Court will impose a $100 fine, $30 court cost, $25 surcharge, total $155. Can you pay that or do you need time? Please see my court clerk. Nathaniel Douglas.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Sir, you were summoned to court to answer allegations that you violated 2 sections of the Frisco Municipal Code on or about February 6th of this year. First, it's alleged you violated section 127-16, littering on public property. Do you understand the nature of the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Second, it's alleged that you violated section 129-7, public consumption of alcohol where prohibited. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
Both charges, being municipal ordinance offenses, have a maximum possible penalty of up to a $2,650 fine and or a possible 364 days in jail. Do you understand the maximum possible penalty?
Yes.
You were provided a written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review your legal rights?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions about your rights?
No.
Do you feel you understand them?
Yes, I understand them perfectly, Judge.
Do you know what a trial is?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand you have a right to an attorney?
Yes, sir.
I have notes you'd like to set this for trial, so we will schedule this for next month, May 21st at 6:15.
Oh, please.
Sorry?
A speedy trial?
It is our next court date. Oh, that's as speedy as it can be. You got it. Please see my court clerk for written notes. Am I supposed to do something? Oh, okay. This is what you do, Kyle. Okay. Victor Chavez. Good evening, sir. Sir, you were summoned to court to answer allegations that you supposedly violated Model Traffic Code Section 604, failure to obey a traffic control signal or device. Do you understand the nature of the charge? Maximum penalty is 4 points on your driving record and a possible fine as high as $1,000. You understand the maximum penalty. You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. You get a chance to read and review your rights. Do you have any questions about those rights? Do you feel you understand them? Do you know what a trial is? You understand you have a right to hire an attorney. I have paperwork that says instead of a trial, you wish to enter a plea to a 2-point defective vehicle. Is that correct? You understand by doing that, you're giving up rights listed in the right sheet, which means there'll be no trial, no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. Did anybody threaten you, force you, coerce you, or otherwise make you plead guilty against your will? Anybody promise you anything not said in court? Is this your free and voluntary plea? Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? Now we've covered the required questions. How do you plead to 2-point defective vehicle, guilty or not? Court accepts your plea, find to be freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to make a statement, but not required to, but welcome to. Is there anything you'd like to say? Court imposes a $100 fine, $25 surcharge, $3 court cost, total $155. Can you pay that, or do you need to pay? Sure. Please see my court clerk. Gabrielle Noel. Good evening. Sir, you were summoned to court to answer allegations. You supposedly violated section 1101 of the Model Traffic Code, speeding 10 to 19 over the posted limit. Do you understand the nature of the charge? Maximum penalty is 4 points on your driving record and a fine as high as $1,000. Do you understand the possible penalty? Yes. You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review those rights? Yes. Do you have any questions about your rights? Any questions? Do you feel you understand them? Yes, sir. Do you know what a trial is?
Yes, sir.
And you understand you have a right to hire an attorney. I have paperwork instead that you wish to plead guilty pursuant to an agreement to a 2-point defective vehicle. Is that what you wish to do? And you understand by doing so that you are giving up the rights listed in the right sheet, which means there'll be no trial, no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. Did anybody threaten you, force you, coerce you, or otherwise make you plead guilty? Anybody promise you anything not said in court? Is this your free and voluntary plea? Yes. Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? How do you plead to defective vehicle? Court accepts your plea, find to be freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to a statement. Would you like to say anything?
I would not.
Court imposes a $100 fine. Cost and surcharge, total $155. Can you pay that?
Yes, sir.
You see my court clerk. Reagan Wallace. Good evening. Sir, you're summoned to court to answer allegations you supposedly violated section 604 of the Model Traffic Code, failure to obey a traffic control device. Do you understand the nature of the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
Maximum penalty is up to $1,000 and 4 points on your driving record. Do you understand the penalty?
Yes, Your Honor.
You were provided the written advisement of rights. Did you get a chance to read and review your rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any questions? Do you feel you understand them? Know what a trial is? Understand you have a right to hire an attorney. Have paper that says you wish to plead to a 2-point defective vehicle. Is that correct? You understand by doing that, you're giving up all the rights listed on the right sheet, which means no trial, no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. All understood? Anybody threaten you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Anybody promise you anything not said in court? Is this your free and voluntary plea?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of anything? Now we've covered the questions. How do you plead to defective vehicle? Court accepts your plea, find me freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to a statement and welcome to. Is there anything you'd like to tell me? $100 fine, 30 costs, 25 surcharge, total 155. Can you pay that?
Yes, sir.
Please see my court clerk. Jessica Mann. Good evening. Ms. Mann, you were summoned to court to answer allegations you violated Model Traffic Code Section 703, failure to stop at a clearly posted stop sign. Do you understand the charge? Penalty is a 4-point violation on your driving record and a possible fine as high as $1,000. Do you understand the possible penalty? You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review your rights? Do you feel you understand them? Any question? Know what a trial is? Understand you have a right to hire an attorney. Have paperwork that says that you wish to accept a 2-point defective vehicle. Is that correct? You understand by doing so, you are giving up the rights listed in the right sheet, which means no trial, no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. Did anybody threaten you to get you to plead guilty? Anybody promise you anything not said in court? Is this your free and voluntary plea? Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? Now we've covered that. How do you plead to a defective vehicle? Accept your plea, finding it to be freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to a statement and welcome to. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Is there any opportunity to reduce the fine at all?
Yes, that's where you can give me reasons I should reduce the fine.
Well, I had surgery a couple months ago and I've been really sick for the past couple months. And so just having a little bit of a hard time financially right now.
I can also give you community service instead of a phone.
How much community service?
8 hours.
Yeah, I'd do that.
You'd rather do that?
Yeah.
Okay. 8 hours of community service. Waive the court cost, but $25 surcharge, so still $25. Community service is due by June 18th, or appear back here, explain why you need an extension. Please see my court clerk.
I'm sorry. Could I change my mind to just pay the fee? Is that
Yeah.
possible? Sorry. Sorry about that. I just did some mental math. I apologize. Thank you, though.
$75 fine, $25 court costs, $30 and $25 surcharge, $30 court costs, $130. Can you pay that?
Your Honor.
All right, please see my court clerk.
Thank you.
Richard Lambert. Lamberti. Sir, you were summoned to court on an alleged violation of section 703 of the Model Traffic Code, failure to stop at a stop sign. It's 4-point violation. Do you understand the charge? You understand the penalty is 4 points on your driving record and $1,000 fine. You get a chance to read and review your rights. Any questions? Feel you understand them? Know what a trial is? Understand you could hire an attorney. Have paperwork says you want to take a 2-point defective vehicle. I understand you're giving up all your rights by doing that. Anybody threaten you? Anybody promise you? No. Free and voluntary plea. Under the influence of anything. How do you plead to a defective vehicle? You don't mind the short version. You don't mind the short version.
I like the shorter version.
Or accept your plea, I'd be really. Oh, I feel you've heard it enough that it.
I was gonna try to like remember, is it yes, yes, no, no.
Now,
yes,
sometimes
yes.
when I get really bored towards the end, I ask the defendant to tell me all that stuff. So for everybody left in the room, I hope you've been listening well, because you might be the person I asked to repeat all that stuff. I accept your plea. Anything you want to say? All right. $100 fine, 30 and 25, total 155. Can you pay it? Please see my court clerk. Thanks for your good humor.
Thank you for yours.
Patrick Flynn. Good evening. Sir, you are summoned to court to answer allegations you violated section 1101 of the Model Traffic Code, speeding 10 to 19. Over. Do you understand the charge? Penalty maximum is 4 points and $1,000. Do you understand the maximum?
Sir.
You were provided a written advisement of legal rights. You get a chance to read and review your rights. Any question? Feel you understand them? You know what a trial is. Understand you could hire an attorney. Have paper? No, I don't have any paperwork.
Deal. I just asked for the continuance to kind of decide whether I went. That's okay.
It just didn't, I didn't see a note, so I didn't know you wanted to continue it. That's fine. We'll see you May 21st.
Ask if I could just take the deal he gave me in there.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Instead of the continuance.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
But
apologies.
you have to go and get him to write it up. I don't have any paperwork, so I need that. All right. We'll send you back in there. Screws, if I'd seen you sitting there amongst everybody, I would have called you sooner. But this is the order I have here. Looks like Aldo Amadeo. You need to state your name for the record, even though I know who you are.
Patricia Cruz.
You solemnly swear you faithfully translate each and every word stated verbatim from English to Spanish and Spanish to English to the best of your ability under penalty of perjury.
I do.
Thank you. Sir, first I need to check custom is no hats in court, please. Custom is no hats in court, please. No words. No words. It's a tradition. I don't make a big deal out of it, but I do adhere to it. Sir, you were summoned to court on 2 charges. First is failure to obey a traffic control signal. Do you understand what that means? Second is no proof of insurance. Okay, for the advisement, I'm supposed to start with what's on the original ticket, even though.
I interpreted that as being crossed out. Citation.
Okay. I didn't quite get that as being crossed out, but now I do. All right, so you're just here on 1 charge. Okay. The maximum possible penalty on the traffic control signal is 4 points on your driving record and a fine as high as $1,000. Do you understand the maximum penalty?
Yes. Yes.
You were provided the written advisement of legal rights, our Spanish version. Do you have any questions? Do you feel you understand them?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know what a trial is?
Yes.
And you understand you could hire an attorney? And because you have a CDL, there's nothing the prosecutor or I can do for you other than you can either have a trial or and plead not guilty or plead guilty to the charge? Which do you wish to do?
En realidad, el fiscal y el juez pueden hacer mucho acerca de su multa de 4 puntos. Entonces, la única opción que tiene es declararse culpable o no culpable en este momento. Vamos a declarar. Guilty.
Okay. I assume the prosecutor explained to you there's new federal laws saying basically we can't make deals for people with CDLs.
Dice que la fiscal explica que cuando tienen licencia comercial como la de usted, hay una ley nueva que no se puede hacer ningún arreglo.
Sí, sí, me explico.
Yes, he explained that.
Okay. You understand by pleading guilty, you're giving up all the rights listed in the rights.
Culpable que ya no va a tener los derechos que leyó en la hoja de sus declaración de derechos. Yes.
That means there'll be no trial, no witnesses, and the prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. It means you're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney.
Correct.
Did anybody threaten you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Did anybody promise you anything that's not been said?
¿Ustedes le prometieron algo del cual no se ha hablado aquí en la corte?
No.
No.
Is this your free and voluntary plea?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision?
No.
Now that I've asked the required questions, I have to ask you to repeat. How do you plead to the charge, guilty or not?
Guilty.
The court accepts your plea, find me freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to make a statement and welcome to, but not required to. Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Quiere, puede decir algo, pero no tiene que, si no quiere.
No, no quiero decir nada.
No, okay.
All right. The right place to write this down. $100 fine, $25 surcharge, $3 court cost, $155. You need time to pay that.
No, I don't need to.
Okay, please see my court clerk. Mr. Flynn, you're back. I now have paperwork for a 2-point defective vehicle. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
I don't need to re-advise you.
Yes, sir.
You understand by pleading guilty, you're giving up all your rights.
Yes, sir.
You understand means no trial, no witnesses, and the prosecutor doesn't have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Anybody anybody threaten you to get you to plead guilty? Anybody promise you anything? Is this your free and voluntary plea?
Sure.
Are you under the influence of anything? How do you plead to defective vehicle? Court accepts your plea. Anything you want to say?
Yes.
Please.
So if you may take a look at my driving record, I haven't had anything in the last 10 years in regards to tickets. The ticket I did get was in the kind of the belt buckle of Florida, where it's the speed trap of the USA. The prosecutor also knows what I was talking about earlier. He's from the area. So that's where I got my ticket. So if there's any consideration of lowering the fine or anything like that, I'd be much appreciated.
All right. $50 fine, $30 court costs, $25 surcharge, $105. Cut the fine in half. Please see my court clerk. Um, Ramon, Ramon Eduardo Chavera Alvarado. There are four names written here, so I'm trying. They've got Eduardo. The way they've got it written is Ramon is the first name and Eduardo the second name, and the surname being Shavara Alvarado. But that's how it's written in. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name? You were next. It looks like it's just a dismissal of a no proof of insurance. Which one? Eduardo Ramon.
Yeah, that's just a dismissal. I told them they could leave.
Okay. That's not this guy.
That's not this guy.
Okay.
Oh, I remember you. I've seen you before. Yes, okay. Did you know that?
That's the
That's the-
restitution.
All right. Ronald Fleshman. Good afternoon, sir. You were summoned to court to answer allegations you supposedly violated Model Traffic Code Section 1103, impeding flow of traffic. Do you understand the nature of the charge?
Yes, sir.
Maximum penalty on this is 3 points on your driving record and a fine possibly as high as $1,000. You understand the maximum penalty?
Yes, sir.
You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review those rights? Do you have any questions about those rights? Do you feel you understand? You know what a trial is?
What's that?
Do you know what a trial is? And you understand you have a right to an attorney?
Yes, sir.
I don't have any paperwork telling me which way you'd like to go with this, so tell me.
I'm gonna ask for a continuance,
Okay? Granted.
some legal representation. I guess knowing what I know now, I wish I would have been able to have the opportunity to pay for the 1 point fine but I guess I can't have that opportunity anymore. So I may have the money to pay the fine today, but,
Okay. Is May all right, or do you want June?
what's that?
What date do you want? May or June?
It is as far out, I guess, as you can. I mean, give me more time to try to put together some representation.
We'll set this for June 18th. Please see my court clerk for written notice. All right, court is temporarily out of files. What's new? You hear the Silverthorne town manager is going?
His wanting,
My understanding.
I don't know him at all.
I've known him over the years.
Do you interact with him much?
Not a whole lot, but some.
You going someplace else?
No, he's just decided after 19 years. Is the recording rolling?
No.
Okay. He was divorced not that long ago, and I think it's caused him to rethink a lot of things. That's my opinion. He didn't say that, but the timing is coincidental.
Did you sign all these?
I did. There's only 3. There's been 19 years in Silverthorne. For 20 years. So I think that
Ugly divorce.
he did make some comment to me about his statement to me was along the line, well, the marriage was over for a long time. And that part wasn't hard, but the legal proceedings went on. And I said, yeah, I'm sorry about that. So I think it's one of those, in a sense, midlife slap in the face. Well, you know, everything I thought I had going, why am I doing this?
It'll be difficult, I'm sure.
But, and I'm not sure quitting what you're doing is always the answer, but things are, they have a budget problem this year, and I don't know why they do. They must have over anticipated something.
Well, they were talking about building a brand new police department. I don't know if that went through.
Except that's capital and that would be bonding.
Hmm.
This is operational. So they may have been counting on more outlet. I think, you know, I think the outlets are dying
Oh, yeah,
big time.
that landlord is very
Yeah.
difficult from what I've heard.
Well, the old one was difficult. The ones currently are Canadian, I thought,
I don't
and they were
know.
supposed to be okay. But
A lot of those spaces are empty.
anyhow, you know, people get slapped hard and everyone takes a different, some double down and throw themselves into what they got going on.
Mhm.
Some double down and change careers and
Don't go to Telluride and skate.
in Arizona and golf.
Are you going there this weekend? To
This
Telluride?
weekend, no.
You know about this looming storm, don't you?
Yeah. One is she actually came down to Arizona to train her horses. She's actually still there.
Oh,
She actually went down before I went down and stayed after. And but her horse training place is like a hour west of my place.
Oh.
And so she would come over every other evening.
has she used that facility before? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's convenient.
And she's known this trainer for a long time. And Polly uses multiple trainers. She's not, wedded to one
I
trainer.
think that's good for the horse too, then.
Yeah, maybe. So, but she and I are having a little restructuring over the cats.
Oh, for the cat.
Yeah, I took them both in for their annual physical.
Oh, you called me. You're on the phone when you were at the vet, weren't you?
Yeah, one time. Right?
Yeah.
But the one had a UTI.
Mhm.
They gave it antibiotics, which causes it to have diarrhea, which happens to people all the time. The
Mhm.
antibiotics wipe out your digestive probiotic enzyme.
Mhm.
Well, it had diarrhea over her favorite white carpet.
May I approach?
You may.
It is, since I'm gonna be.
I don't think we have the record.
We are not on the record.
Give me 1 second. I will just be on the record.
Okay. She'll let you know, you'll hear the voice say,
For this one, Your Honor, since I'm going to be speaking with a couple other defendants, this is a CDL and I told the defendant that no offer's coming and he just wants to plead guilty. But since there's no form, I just want to memorialize on the record that since it's an auto accident, I want to reserve restitution for 91 days in the event he does in fact go through with the guilty plea, and that plea is accepted.
Okay.
Great, thank you.
Guessing. This case is,
Ravinder.
Edward, is it Toval?
Yes, please.
I'm trying to read the handwriting here. Toval? Correct? Okay. You're still under. Okay. Sir, first I need to advise you, which means first I have to make sure you understand the nature of the charge. You understand that you were summoned to court for improper backing.
Primero le tiene que explicar por qué está usted aquí frente al juez en la corte y dice que el cargo es de que usted de manera impropia hizo su carro, retrocedió. Ese es el cargo, ¿verdad? ¿Sí? ¿Lo entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
And then I'm required to tell you the maximum possible penalty.
Y ahora le va a explicar cuál pudiera ser la penalidad máxima, posible máxima.
And that is 2 points on your driving record. And a possible fine as high as $1,000. You understand the maximum penalty?
Máximo. ¿Sí lo entiende?
Yes, sir.
You were provided our written advisement of legal rights in Spanish. Did you get a chance to read and review your rights?
Ella había venido y le habían dado sus declaraciones de derechos en español. ¿Lo leyó? Yes.
Do you have any questions about your rights?
No, sir.
Do you feel you understand them?
Yes.
Do you know what a trial is?
Yes.
And you understand you have a right to hire an attorney?
Yes.
And then maybe not required, but an additional advisement, because you have a CDL, there are relatively new federal statutes that govern what we can do with your case.
Dice que con licencia comercial, ahora hay otras leyes recientemente nuevas federales, pues que no se puede hacer mucho, ¿verdad? Con su ofensa o su multa.
In general, these are called the federal anti-masking statutes.
Máscara, no sé bien la intención en español.
And basically, it's kind of a crackdown on CDL drivers. It used to be very common in a lot of states to completely change the charge and points for CDL drivers, regardless of their driving record, and they wanted to put a stop to it.
Dice que esto sucedió porque en otros estados estaba pasando muy común que sin importar en la multa, siempre se cambiaba la multa y ese es el
So we are
problema.
no longer permitted to change either the charge or the penalty.
De cambiar el cargo o la penalidad.
And just sort of a side note, like in Ohio, where Interstate 80 goes through, they found that Ohio courts were 80% non-compliant.
Dice que está poniendo un ejemplo del estado de Ohio. Dice que en Ohio hay un interestatal, que es el interestatal 80, que dice que pasaban muchas multas y que el 90% de las multas no las estaban cumpliendo. Es un
In
número
Ohio,
muy alto.
some be penalized their federal highway dollars. The penalty is the federal government takes away its highway money from the state.
Y dice que entonces lo que estaba pasando es de que estaban retirando el dinero del estado.
So I just thought you deserve an explanation of what's going on.
Your Honor, he just mentioned that he was just reading that.
Okay. Okay. All right, so you feel you understand your rights and you know you have a right to an attorney, so I understand you're going to plead guilty to the charge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you understand by pleading guilty, you are giving up all the rights listed in the right sheet. That means there'll be no trial and no witnesses. It means the prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. It means you are giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. Is all that understood?
Yes.
Did anybody threaten you to get you to plead guilty? Did anybody promise you anything?
No, sir.
Is this your free and voluntary plea?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision?
¿Alguna sustancia que no le permita tomar una decisión?
No, sir.
Now I've asked all the required questions. How do you plead to the charge of improper backing?
Ya que le todos los requerimientos, ¿cómo se declara otra vez en cuanto a su cargo o a su multa de que retrocedió de manera impropia? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
De eso puedo preguntarle.
Antes o
Sí, ahorita puedo preguntarle.
he's Your Honor, requesting to ask a question.
Yes. Yeah, certainly.
Actualmente trabajo esto afecta a mi trabajo.
He's asking, he's saying that he works at the summer stage right now, and he wants to know if this is going to affect his work.
I don't know what their internal regulations are.
No, por la multa, los puntos de la licencia.
I know as far as the state driving record that you're going to have 6 active points because you had 4 points from last year. And to my knowledge, that will put you only 2 points away from the state doing something. So you are going to need to be very careful until the end of 2026. Your Summit County speeding points will not come off until October of 2026. So you really can't afford to have any tickets between now and the end of October 2026. So that's 18 months of being very careful.
Yes, sir.
That's the best answer I can give you.
Thank you, sir. Sí,
Yes, I declare myself guilty.
Court accepts your plea, find to be freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made.
Yes, sir.
You're entitled to make a statement either about what happened or what the penalty should be, but you're not required to, but you're welcome to. Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
¿Puedo decirle lo mismo que le dije al fiscal?
Si tú quieres.
Sí, claro que sí. Primero, quiero pedirle disculpas a la ciudad de Frisco por el problema ocasionado.
I just want to apologize for this problem that I committed or made the town go through this problem.
Recuerdo haberle dicho a la persona que estacionara bien su carro, su auto.
I remember telling this other person, I asked him to park his car correctly.
Estaba cuando regresé, solo decidió ignorarme la persona.
He just ignored me.
No me hizo caso. Volví y cuando
I came back,
ya me iba, retrocedí
so
y
when
lo
I was
volví.
backing up, I hit him.
Lo volví. Regresé a mi lugar donde estaba
I went back where I was parked.
y alcancé a ver y noté que la persona movió su auto
I noticed that person moved his car
en el lugar
to the correct parking space.
And this was not when you were operating a CDL, this was your personal vehicle.
No, it was my personal car.
Okay,
I was working that day.
okay.
Day.
I appreciate what you're telling me. The only thing I can say is, if you see a bad situation, you ask somebody to correct it and they don't, your only remedy is to call the police, not to continue.
Si ves que una persona está haciendo algo que no es correcto y no lo corrige, la otra opción es llamar a la policía.
Or to wait till they're gone. I
Pues,
mean, so. All right, court will impose $50 fine, $30 cost, $25 surcharge, $105. Can you pay that?
Entre el costo, la multa, la corte y eso, ¿eh?
Correcto.
Y te va a preguntar si lo puedes pagar ahorita o quieres pagos.
¿Puedo pagarlo el viernes? El viernes me pagan.
Can I pay it on Friday? Because
That's fine.
Sí, está bien.
Thank you.
Please see my court clerk for written work. I'm sorry, I'm going to mispronounce your name. Is Ravi Indira Jaskar? Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay, sir, you were summoned to court originally to answer allegations you violated 604 fair to obey traffic control device. Do you understand what that means? Maximum penalty is up to $1,000 fine and 4 points on your driving record. Do you understand the maximum penalty?
I do, Your Honor.
You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review those rights?
I did, Your Honor.
Do you have any questions about those rights? Do you feel you understand them?
I do.
Do you know what a trial is?
I do.
You understand you have a right to an attorney?
I do.
I have paperwork that says you wish to enter into an agreement to plead guilty to a 2-point defective vehicle. Is that what you want?
I do.
You understand by doing that, you're giving up the rights listed in the right sheet, which means there'll be no trial, no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney.
I understand.
Your Honor.
Threaten you to get you plead guilty. Anybody promise you anything that's said in court? Is this your free and voluntary plea?
It is.
Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision? Now, we've covered the required questions. How do you plead to defective vehicle?
I plead guilty, Your
Court accepts your plea, find me freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to and welcome to make a statement either about what happened or what the penalty should be or anything else.
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. $100 fine, $30 court cost, $25 surcharge, $155 total. Can you pay the court clerk today? Please see her. Timothy Bryant. Mr. Bryant. Sir, you were summoned to court to answer allegations that you violated Frisco Town Code Section 127-5, urination, defecation in public. Do you understand the charge?
Your Honor.
Maximum penalty for any ordinance is up to a $2,650 fine and up to a 364-day in jail sentence or combination of both. Do you understand the maximum penalty? You were provided the written advisement of legal rights. Did you get a chance to read and review those rights?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Do you feel you understand them?
Sure.
Do you know what a trial is?
Yes.
Do you understand you have a right to an attorney?
Yes.
I have paperwork that you wish to enter a deferred judgment agreement. Is that correct?
Yes.
You understand the way that works is you are expected to state a plea of guilty to this charge, but the guilty plea will go into a temporary court record we call a deferred record. If you satisfy and complete the conditions, which the only conditions I really see is to not have any other violations of the town code or criminal charges elsewhere, that the end of 6 months, the case would be dismissed and automatically sealed from public view under Colorado statute. On the other hand, if at any time it's alleged you violate the conditions, there'd be a hearing about whether you in fact violated the conditions. And if it was proved you violated the conditions, then the guilty plea would go to the permanent court record and you'd be subject to being resentenced, but still face those same maximum penalties. You think you understand that procedure?
Yes, sir.
You understand by pleading guilty pursuant to this procedure, you're giving up all the rights listed in the right sheet, which means there'll be no trial, there'll be no witnesses. The prosecutor will not have to prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You're giving up your presumption of innocence and right to an attorney. All understood?
Yes, sir.
Did anybody threaten you to get you plead guilty?
No, sir.
Anybody promise you anything not said in court?
No, sir.
Is this your free and voluntary plea?
It is.
Are you under the influence of anything that affects your ability to make a decision?
Sir.
Now we've covered all the required questions. How do you plead to violating the charge? Court accepts your plea but defers it, find to be freely, voluntarily, and knowingly made. You're entitled to make a statement and welcome to, but also not required to. Anything you want to tell me? How are you working?
No,
Uh,
I'm in the process of filing for Social Security.
okay.
So
I will impose 8 hours of community service to be completed by June 18th, or come back to court to explain why you need an extension. There's $25 surcharge by council. I can't waive that, but I'm waiving the fine and waiving the court costs. So it's $25, 8 hours by June 18th. I'll be back here on that date. From any charity anywhere you're residing, it doesn't have to be Summit County, but around here, it's like FERC or church, daycare. If you're down in the city, it's like Salvation Army, Goodwill.
I think FERC would be my choice, yeah,
All right.
locally
Well,
here.
that's up to you to work out, and then you need to get them. My clerk will give you all the details, but they have to send us something on their letterhead saying you've done it.
Okay.
And it comes directly from them to the clerk. Any questions?
No, sir.
All right, please see my clerk.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are we ready for the restitution hearing?
Yes, Your Honor. Can we just as a bit of housekeeping,
Yes.
for the trials that were set, are we having a May court date or was everything? So May, was everything set in May or were there some set in June?
Yeah,
Okay.
there was one continuance to June. If you think that's beyond what we can cover, we could reset them.
I think we're fine. I'm just trying to.
I mean, they seem to be straightforward.
Yeah, they were. I feel like there was a few more trials than usual, but maybe I'm.
Yeah, there were.
Yeah. What I'll probably do is if I get the docket for next month and there's too much going on, I'll ask court clerk next week and
All right.
if needed, I'll file a continuance, but I think we're fine.
We do have a very full docket for me
Okay.
at this point.
I mean, I'm fine. We can hang out.
Another option is to reset the time, though it depends on when you get done in Leadville.
Yeah, no, I think we might just have to be prepared for a semi-late night, which is fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm ready to go on the restitution hearing.
All right. Court will call. Looks like it's Marlene Pena Mendez. Ma'am, good evening. This is set for a restitution hearing. Do you understand what that's about?
Yes.
Okay. There's a claim that you owe money to somebody as a result of the traffic accident you had. And you've had a chance to talk to the prosecutor about that?
I don't think we've discussed the actual, if you recall, Your Honor, we were kind of like midway through the restitution hearing and we continued last time. And I have not heard from the defendant since then.
All right. It seemed like there was a sort of a request for more discussion, but I just want to see whether any of that happened.
I believe they wanted time to get an attorney, but I don't want to put words in their mouth.
All right, well, this matter has been continued once, so we will proceed. All right, so you may sit at the table. You're not required to stand at the podium. And yes, I have notes about the witness. We got as far as Exhibit 1.
That's what I had, right? We do have Exhibit 1 admitted, and it's a receipt from Toe Lift Inc.
Right, and this involves forklifts that were damaged.
Yes.
All right.
So can I just start from the kind of middle then?
As far as the court's concerned, you can. Your discussion.
Then I will recall Kevin Vredeveld to the stand.
Since it's been a month, sir, let me place you under oath again. You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury. Will you be seated? Okay. You may continue.
Hi, Kevin. Just to kind of refresh everyone's memory, would you mind just kind of recapping what your testimony was up until the continuance last time?
Yes.
Doesn't have to be super detailed, but just
Okay.
recap.
I'll recap it and then I'll get into more detail if requested.
Sure.
So the incident that occurred outside of my business, G&G Roofing in Frisco, there was an accident between our forklift with a very experienced driver and the defendant that pled guilty to the traffic infraction in front of it. And essentially it broke one of the forklifts in like about half. And so what we had to do is when I had to make some calls the following week and find a forklift to replace what we had. And and the forks can only be sold in a pair. And so I found a replacement pair in Denver, and it's key to our business running effectively. So I sent one of my technicians to Denver, I believe it was on a Tuesday, to get him, come back, and then he had to install the new forks on our forklift.
And do you recall writing me a letter explaining these circumstances?
I do.
Your Honor, I'm showing the defendant a copy of Exhibit 2. May I approach?
Thanks.
Has the defendant got Exhibit 2?
Yes. Kevin, what did I just place in front of you?
You placed in front of me my impact statement.
And what does this impact statement mean? I mean, why did you write it?
I wrote it because it negatively impacted my business financially. It impacted me not being able to send my technician out to get work and get work on the job to generate income. It wasted his time driving to Denver and back, and it covers the replacement cost of the forks.
And this letter explains kind of the breakdown of costs, I guess you could say.
It does. And to be fair, I think I was conservative on it because for two reasons. One, the prior fork, we had a welder actually put a hole in one of the forks and we paid for that so that we can move one of our easy paw lifts around. I did not put any cost for that in here. Two, that technician usually bills out for $75 an hour. I only asked for reparation of his hourly wages. And
can I ask, is that kind of your written signature that appears at the bottom of Exhibit 2?
I don't see a signature on Exhibit 2.
Text, I mean.
Yes, that is my signature, my email, my statement.
And does this look like a true and accurate copy of the statement that you sent to me, your victim impact statement?
It does, Nick.
And has it been altered in any way aside from the appending of the Exhibit 2 designation at the bottom?
No,
Your Honor, I'd ask that Exhibit 2 be admitted into evidence, People's Exhibit 2.
Have any objection in accordance with the Colorado Rules of Evidence?
No.
Exhibit 2 is admitted.
Well, Kevin, is there anything else you want the court to know tonight about the costs to your business that stemmed from this accident?
yeah, one follow-up item was, yeah, I think it was the defendant or the defendant's dad questioned the authenticity of the receipt. And I wanted to address that because the receipt actually came from an email from the place of business. And that person did say in that extra email I sent to Nick that it was for a cost of the works. That's all.
Thank you. I have no further
Yeah,
questions,
but
Your Honor.
just a technical thing. I did not make a note, and the record may be clear whether I admitted Exhibit 1. I did have a note Exhibit 1, but I didn't write my customary admitted. I believe it was admitted.
I believe it was.
All right.
But I can-
Good. Well, it was included as part of the court file, and normally I wouldn't have done that. So I don't know if you wanted to recover that or not.
No, as long as the exhibit's been admitted and, we see the $1,020, then
Okay.
we have no further questions.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Ma'am, this is your opportunity to ask the witness questions. That's fine. Yeah, she can have a minute. If she wants to ask questions, she should go to the, she needs you to interpret, so I will allow her to ask questions from where she's seated.
It's not gonna be able to hear them. She needs to get near the microphone.
Oh, all right. I guess I'm gonna need both of you by the microphone at the podium. Okay. Yes, she take time. Does she want like a 5-minute recess to do this, or just sit there and film? My recall is she had someone with her last time who was suggesting questions to her and who brought up about not having an attorney and such. And so that's why we continued this. Because I was not going to allow him to practice law.
Lo que pasó con el suceso, tuvieron que marcar en la calle, hacer líneas después de todo lo que pasó.
The question for your third is, she's asking why after the incident, then the street had marks.
That was of no doing to me. I could only offer some conjecture, but that was done by the HOA and I had no input in that.
Las personas que se encargan de esa área.
Okay, pero él también es el dueño de los negocios cerca de ahí.
But you also are the owner of those businesses around that place or that area?
I only own G&G Roofing LLC, and there's a lot of businesses in that area. So whatever is done, there's maintenance that happens every year, every other year. They update the markings. So I'm only one business that is affected by that. I didn't pay for it.
Que cada año cambian las señales, las facturas.
Lo que pasa es que cuando pasó el accidente no había ninguna señales.
No tienes que hacer como pregunta.
La pregunta en inglés. So, she's asking if you know why at the time of the accident didn't have any signals on the street that could prevented the accident?
So again, the witness was given a traffic infraction ticket. Okay, for reckless driving. I don't understand where we're going with these questions. Would it have affected her speed? Would it have affected her swerving around a dumpster?
I was only gonna let this go so far. I didn't know when I'd hear from the prosecutor. At a restitution hearing, really, the evidence is about whether or not the amounts claimed are related to the accident to which you pled guilty already.
Así que en realidad esto es una evidencia de restitución y si quieres hacerle preguntas en cuanto a la restitución, no tanto en ya te multaron por el accidente, no tanto por eso.
It's really about whether the numbers are valid as opposed to litigating the traffic ticket. If you want to do that, you should have had a trial on the traffic ticket.
La audiencia es para los números de Dios. Entonces está bien. Okay, everything is fine.
Okay, I'm assuming that means no further questions.
And no further questions, Your Honor.
She's saying that she doesn't have any other questions because she feels like if she has more questions, it's not it's like going against everything.
She's entitled to ask whatever other questions she wants that go to the validity of these numbers.
No.
All right, thank you. Any rebuttal?
No redirect and no further witnesses either.
All right. Court will enter a restitution amount in the amount requested. I think that the Exhibit 2 is a modest request in light of the damage. It's basically just the cost of the forklifts and a couple of hours of company time. It's entirely reasonable. The mileage requested is totally supported by the standard mileage reimbursement rate, and the court finds there's evidence to support the request beyond a reasonable doubt. That'll be the judgment of the court. Thank you, Kevin. Appreciate your patience in coming back a second time.
Are we adjourned, Your Honor?
I see no other cases to be called and no other people in the courtroom. Oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. Put it back on, please. Oh, you can't?
No, what's it stopped?
All right, that's fine. Ma'am, the court has entered judgment that you're gonna owe this amount of money. You need to talk to the clerk about a payment plan. Since I assume you don't have this much money. I'll give you the exact, it's 1,022. Hang on, I'll get to the exhibit. 1,020 and 75 cents. I think. Yes, 1,020 and 75 cents.
Your Honor, that was.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's 1,227.04. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
At 2774.
Yeah, 04. 04. That's fine. Okay. Tom wrote a ticket.
I saw that. Yeah.
Chief?
Yeah.
That unsafe,
It does happen.
that unsafe backing the chief wrote the ticket. It's been many a year since I've seen that.
Thank you. You're
Do I
good.
just, my next step is just to hear from you or?
No, you'll hear from the court clerk from here on out, I believe.
Okay. All right, thanks, John. Thanks, Mike.
Yep, thank you, Kevin. Thanks for coming out. Sorry for last month.
So the payment needs to come to the town first and then we distribute it. That's how we do
It's a normal procedure. We have to keep track that it's been done.
So she would pay.
How you feeling?
Good. Actually, sorry about last month.
Don't be sorry.
You know I never
People
do
get,
that.
people
Yeah.
get sick.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I probably slept 16 hours that day. I was hurting.
Yeah.
Some news for you, hot off
Yeah.
the press. Our friend Chris Floyd, no longer the judge after today. Resigned last night to the city council
Okay.
because she is going for McCluskey's house seat.
I knew she was thinking about that.
Yep.
Because I saw her, I'm trying to think which event it was, but I saw her at some event and
Yeah. So she's done.
well, I'm the backup.
And also John Scott is. So it's going to be one of the two of you in May.
Oh, well, okay.
So just
Yeah,
keep an eye out on that.
I don't care.
But also,
Someone needs to let me know.
if you want a little bit extra work, we'll be putting an RFP out for the muni judge position.
I'll throw it back up. I don't know if John wants it, I'll let John. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what John's, for all you guys who are still out there in the trenches trying to make a living.
Yeah.
It's like I just had this discussion with Mark Probert down in Surfing. There's a possibility of another judgeship being open in the county. Do you see it as a conflict? And when we prosecuted, I said, no. And I said, who? She says, oh, Buck. I said, oh, I didn't know. I had this discussion already with Buck when he quit in Vail. Matter of fact, I called Breck to say, did he quit in Breck too? But I said, no, it meets twice a month. It impedes my freedom. Yeah. Now Leadville fits right in.
Same
with my
day,
schedule.
too. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So it would work for
And
me.
they know you.
But
Just a heads up, because
yeah.
things are moving quick, obviously.
Well,
And it was a total shock.
I'll give John a call.
Yeah.
If I have his number.
Yeah, total shock. She just showed up last night and they were expecting her to request more funding or a raise or different practices. And she said, yep, tomorrow is my last day.
Well, I'm surprised she's resigning this far out. No, I have John in here. So, assuming he hasn't changed his number, I'll give him a call.
Okay. You may want to give it a week. I'm assuming Laura and them were scrambling to figure things out. Which is what happens. Our judge in Mount Christian Butte resigned after being there for 20 years.
Yeah.
He, but now we got him on a month-to-month because the charter there, you can only be the judge if you are a Gunnison County resident.
Wow.
So how many attorneys are there that live in Gunnison County that would rather conflict themselves out to be that judge and lose out on some work on the side? So yeah, if you know of anyone that lives out there, give me a ring.
No, I could do a fake change of address.
Yeah, that is a serious issue we're facing.
They,
So
they need to change that.
what we're doing probably is they allow the backup judges to not be.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah.
interesting, because since I got 7 jurisdictions, I haven't pulled it out in a long time, but I believe my contract here says I have to get Summit County resident.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, in the charter, so we're looking at an election.
Oh, in the
problem.
charter?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
There's no
bigger
getting
problem.
around that.
No.
So there's backup judges that serve at the pleasure of the council. So our thought is, you can put a backup judge in and as long as you're actively seeking to fill that main judge spot, you can sell that. But
Okay.
eventually we're going to have to probably change because there's no, how many attorneys are there in Gunnison County? 8? I mean,
There at least should be the judicial district.
yeah, just the county. So that's our killer.
Yeah.
It's an interesting.
All right, well, I'm not shocked because she had highlighted that, but I'm shocked at the timing.
Yeah,
I mean.
out of nowhere too. Not even no runway or anything, just next day. I'm
Because
done.
we're 18 months away from the election.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
yeah. Well, I'll be seeing her. She was fun to hang out with.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. Maybe you'll be my new guy. But at that point, if we've got 2 court sessions in the same day once a month, I think we're seeing too much of each other. That's a little too much.
Well, and it could be, now Silverthorne is usually done by noon,
Yeah.
but it could be sometimes I'd be late to 11.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, I'll see what John wants to do.
Yeah.
All right, I'll give it a couple of days.
I just wanted to put that on your radar, just because that just happened and,
Yeah, no,
she announced it in open court, and I know you're the backup, so.
Yeah, so it's just,
Okay, Steve.
I would have thought she would do it to the.
I would at least find a little bit of runway, so you're not scrambling for an RFP to put someone in there and, but you got backup judgment, so.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna send you.
At least give us a long runway.
Yeah.
Good night, Mr. James, bye.
Good night. Bye.
All right. Drive,
Because I
well,
don't think you
drive.
need.
I'll see you next month. You will. Yep.
Well,
You'll see me.
the next.
A lot of
is
you.
May 21st.
6 trials.
I'll let you know.
5 trials.
It seems like every month we need you, so. I'll let you know.
Okay. you let
There's
me
just a
know.
lot of Spanish people, you need to
Yeah.
teach me Spanish. But then you don't have a job, so.
You know, CMC offers an immersive 2-week thing down in Honduras.
Oh, really?
I keep thinking about it, but I never seem to find.
And my
The
son
town.
told me also that we're doing something in Cuba. And I'm like, is this fake? I was like,
But I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Oh, sure.
Really? Really?
Yeah, I was like. Wait, wait, wait.
Oh, I have to look at that. But you know, what was?
No, I don't think you know.
I know.
Well, I'm a very big Hemingway person. The only Hemingway place I haven't been is Cuba. I've been to Hemingway's bar in Venice, Italy. Of course you have. I've been to the big two-hearted. I've been to Casablanca. I've been to Key West, but I've not been to Cuba.
Okay. Well, Ron, I'm very disappointed in you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, thank you. I wonder what happened to her husband.
Yeah, good question. That'd be better than it wasn't.
Oh, Russ, I don't know what it is for her.
I don't think. I don't think it was a husband.
Yeah.
She said that they consulted an intern.
Oh.
She paid $600 cash.
Oh, really?
Yes. So.
I'm surprised, I didn't know. He was saying something last time when he was. They have the money that wasn't the point or something.
You never saw the video and it was. Whoo. That basically. Place. Front quarter panel. Yeah, I mean, to see it, the motion.
Those other 2 towers. Guys, this is the cheapest possible chair transport.
Well, it works. Mashing of the minds. The current administration has been here. They want the whole setup with the TV screen here. And you have
They're
all
annoying.
this up there. It's The setup was ridiculous. It's in that picture. That's what they want. I'm putting these chairs away and that's all they're getting.
I'll bring those other ones in. All right. Well, I think with some. You good?
Smash myself in it.
I can put some chairs over here, right?
Yeah.
Where are these oval?
They're in the closet and they're very heavy and it's so ridiculous. They want them, they can pull them out, you know?
Well, it seems to me that's something public works should do.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm serious.
Yeah, I agree with you, but.
Town administrator, I've lost track as it keeps changing.
Well, Stacy now is the town clerk. Tom Fisher is the town manager.
I don't know who these people are.
You don't wanna.
No,
We don't have much.
No. No, I'm introducing something.
really?
He doesn't like to say hi.
Well, I won't bother him.
It's the most awful thing.
I don't know what to say. Okay.
Well, we'll just mind your business.
All right, well. Nick was talking about no runway.
Janice, did the
I
black
think-
chairs come from the office?
They're out of the picture.
Okay.
I'm here till 2028.
What are you saying about Nick? With no.
Nick was, he was telling me about the judge in Leadville
Uh-huh.
resigned tonight
Oh.
with not telling anybody ahead of time. They thought she was there to request more money or something, and she said, I'm here to quit. She's gonna run for Julie McCluskey's House of Representatives spot because Julie's term limited.
Oh.
And she told me, but Chris told me about it, you know, whatever the last public thing. Together. So I knew she was gonna run, but that's 18 months from now.
And what do you say about 2028?
That's when I'm thinking that I might give this up.
I don't think so, Ron.
Oh. When are you retiring?
My husband's 5 years younger than me.
Oh, well, you gotta work for.
Yeah, so I would like to retire. I mean, 62, I can't get full social security, but
Now you should work to 60. Well, you're 66 for me.
well, my concern in the parallel is to that, but have the space now. So I've moved those to be for them. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm saying. Trying to figure out what I'm doing. If the chief retires, it would.
And I might. Change my mind by then.
Anything else you would like me to do?
Stand on your head. No.
So did you think?